Hi students, welcome to editorial analysis of Vijayata IAS Academy. In today's newspaper, in Hindu newspaper, there is an article related to international relations, particularly about Quad grouping. This particular editorial you can link to GS2 syllabus, that is bilateral, regional and global groupings and agreements involving India and affecting India's interests. This is the syllabus point where this you can link this particular article. Here this article is written in response to Chinese foreign minister saying that China says US is trying to build Indo-Pacific NATO. To this particular news item, this editorial is given. Here it is highlighting the concerns from Beijing and also it is suggesting how India and China should cooperate together to maintain peaceful relations. Here first, editorial is saying that China claiming that Quad is an Indo-Pacific version of NATO. It is not something new. Beijing is trying to say that Quad grouping is like a NATO version of Europe. 15 years ago when Quad was proposed, that time itself China claimed that it is an Asian NATO, but it did not materialize for so many years. Finally, Quad grouping emerged. Now, in the context of growing tensions between Russia and Ukraine, because this war between Russia and Ukraine is happening on account of NATO's expansion towards Eastern European countries. Russia declared war on Ukraine on NATO issue. Because of this particular context, his remarks is also gaining significance. Here he was talking in a Congress of China. He said he accused US of stoking geopolitical rivalry by forming exclusive clubs. These are the phrases you can use in the examination. By stoking geopolitical rivalry by forming exclusive clubs, it is condemning US foreign policy. He said by strengthening the Five Eyes, here he is talking about, he means Foreign Minister of China. He is condemning USA by saying that USA is trying to create a lot of groupings which are targeting against China. He is saying that USA is strengthening Five Eyes intelligence alliance, peddling the Quad, piecing together AUKUS and tightening bilateral military alliances. US was leading what he called 5-4-3-2 formation in the region. Here you can see 5-4-3-2 formation means here Five Eyes. It is an intelligence sharing unit among 5 countries: Australia, Canada, New Zealand, UK and US. Here you can see USA, Canada, 2 countries, UK, 1 country, 3 and Australia, New Zealand, 2 countries. So 2 plus 2 plus 1, 5. That is what China is trying to say that. Here, Five Eyes, these are the 5 countries which are sharing intelligence unit. USA is part of this grouping. And Quad, this is combination of 4 countries. Here India is also present, India, Japan, Australia, USA. And AUKUS, this is a grouping of 3 countries, Australia, UK, US. Here also USA is present. This is what Beijing is trying to say. USA by forming 5-4-3 and bilateral groupings with various other countries. With this kind of formation, USA is trying to form military alliances and targeting countries like China. This particular remark is gaining significance because presently Russia declared war on Ukraine mainly on the contention of NATO expansion towards eastern countries. Beijing has repeatedly blamed NATO for the crisis in Ukraine. China ties with Russia. Beijing is saying that rock solid. China backed Russia on its concerns on NATO's eastward expansion in Europe. Russia returned the favor by criticizing US Indo-Pacific strategy. Now this is highlighting that Though China is presently taking a neutral stand on Ukraine and Russian war, but mostly it is supporting Russia by saying that NATO should respect the territorial integrity or the concerns of Russia, and it even condemned NATO's eastward expansion in Europe. And it also, in return, Russia is expressing his solidarity towards China by criticizing US policies in Indo-Pacific region. Already, Russia and China having deep political linkages and economic linkages also. Now, concerns on US alliances are emerging as a powerful binding glue in China-Russia axis. Already, article is trying to say that already Russia and China are having deep relations in terms of political and economic relations. And at the world level also, China and Russia cooperate together. Now, on account of growing groups led by USA, now the USA factor is making Russia and China to go more closer. Now, what is the condition of India? Quad is not a military pact. Here, India's stand is simple. Quad is not a military pact, whereas NATO is a military pact. And despite this, China appears to be clearly situating India as a part of US exclusive club. This is what India is not in favor of these particular remarks. India rejected that notion. Only last month, our External Affairs Minister also said interested parties were making lazy analogy of an Asian NATO where India was not a US treaty ally. Our External Affairs Minister keep on saying that we are not a treaty ally of USA. We are independent country. We have our own interests. We are a sovereign country. We can take decisions based on our interests. This is what our External Affairs Minister is keep on simplifying or clarifying for such kind of remarks. India-China relations. Now, in this condition, USA is trying to see India, China is trying to see India as USA's club. Now, India is saying that we are not a treaty ally, we are independent country, we can take our choices. But this is affecting India and China relations. Some strategists are even saying that Beijing's aggressive moves along line of actual control in 2020 was also a warning sign to deter India-USA relations. Some analysts are saying that to deter India and USA relations, China is showing aggressive attitude near line of actual control border. India's firm and correct. Editorial is saying India firm, strong and correct. Response has been to hold the line and continue deepening ties not only with the US and the Quad but also other Indo-Pacific partners to underline it will not be swayed. Editorial is supporting India's stand. It is not only with the USA and not only with the Quad grouping, but India can maintain strong relations with any other Indo-Pacific partner, and India can take strong view or can follow its own policy. Nobody can interfere in this particular policy. And here Foreign Minister of China is saying he did acknowledge that recent setbacks in ties suited neither India nor China, a view New Delhi shares. He is also saying that recently the relationship between India and China is taking setbacks due to various issues. The two sides will meet on March 11 for the next round of military talks to take forward LAC disengagements. As India and China continue to seek to restore ties, the lowest point in decades, ensure peace on the border, they will also need to have a broader conversation about global currents that are reshaping their bilateral relations. Here, editorial is suggesting or highlighting the fact that even though India and China is having some disagreements over border issues, but global level currents or global level changes or global level developments in foreign relations is also shaping the bilateral relationship between India and China. Both parties should take note of it and both should restore the ties and also ensure peace on the border. This is what this editorial is highlighting. So simply here China is trying to make or compare Quad grouping as part of NATO, like an Asian NATO, but India is saying that we are not a treaty ally. It is not a Quad, is not a military pact. We are a sovereign country. According to our own foreign interests, we are taking part in this grouping. We always wanted open, free maritime security so that all countries will get the benefits of natural resources like Indo-Pacific region. So this is India's stand. And on the other hand, the growing tensions between India and China, both countries now already in talks to disengage at LAC so that both countries can restore the relationship and maintain peace at border. And in this context, both India and China should take note of growing tensions at a global level. It should not affect the bilateral relations near borders. This is what the editorial is trying to highlight. Thank you.